There are over 200 anime released this season, and I imagine you are not jobless enough to check every single one which look good enough, like I did. Hi, I'm FiendishChan, and I scavenge through trash anime like I do every season, to tell you what I watched ranked as my top 15 anime of spring 2026. First on the list is a maid in Japan eating Japanese food and sweets. We all know everyone loves when cute anime girls eat very cutely. If you need something to watch while you eat, the Food Diary of Miss Maid is perfect. This was my go-to breakfast anime this season. Liar Game is this season death game anime, but instead of fighting to survive, you either win generational wealth or crippling debt. In this anime, we watch how the ex-con man Akiyama helped the incredibly trusting Kanzaki now through some simply looking games, in which the goal is to steal opponents' money. Now I did say the games look simple, but the way characters develop strategies and how Akiyama comes up with a counter strategy is well written and believable. While the animation is weak and the art style is flat, I think it's still worth to watch. Rom-com is not my kinda thing, but Mistress Kanan is devilishly easy, is stupid enough to make it funny. Pretty much every girl has massive booba that sucked out nutrition out of their brains. And our MC is so dense that he thinks Kanan likes to cosplay, even after visiting literal hell. But this time it's the devil girl who is pure and embarrassed one. And I wish she didn't have the getting panic attack from holding hands trope. Anyhow, the way MC constantly misunderstands her as his girlfriend wanting to do kinky stuff is a well-working formula for comedy. Personally, I found the chaos they create quite funny. Witch Hat Atelier is about a girl fascinated by magic finding out magic's biggest secret at a great cost. It is very hard to talk about this anime without spoiling the first episode, so I'll describe the general feel of it instead. The anime is well animated and is very pretty, which enhances the main theme of magic should be for making people happy. It has a solid magic system and overall well written, but I gotta say it felt written a bit too by the rules. What I mean is there are a couple of episodes where we focus on a side character. This side character has a problem, usually some sort of trauma. They are put in a difficult position. Then they overcome their problem through determination. Like I don't have a problem with the structure. It's just that the events feel a bit too scripted, especially when it happens 3 times. Which is why it didn't really hook me. But I gotta say, the cliffhanger in season finale got me very interested in season 2. Just like Witch Hat Atelier, it's very hard to talk about Diamonds of the Shadow Realm, or Yomi no Tsugai as you can call it, without spoiling episode 1, but I'll do my best. We are introduced to our main character Yuru, who grew up in an isolated medieval era Japanese village. Stuff happens and he is forced to find his biological family in the modern world. In this world, people who have the ability to see diamonds use them for combat and similar stuff, which is basically just Pokemon and Pat Yokai. What stands out in this anime is how capable Yuru is, as he is just as a threat without his diamonds thanks to his hunting skills. Powers of a chosen one? Nah, just give me a bow and arrow type stuff. I also gotta mention that the manga this anime adapts is written by the same mangaka who wrote Full Metal Alchemist, so I have high expectations. The reason why I placed it so low is because the first 11 episodes feel like a long setup and introduction phase. This will be a 24 episode anime continuing this summer, so I have faith we'll get to some good stuff. Before the top 10, I wanna quickly go over honorable and unhonorable mentions. We somehow get season 5 of Rent a Girlfriend if you ever wanna hate watch the most insufferable character ever existed. Agents of the 4 Seasons, Dance of Spring is just the same trauma flashbacks repeating over and over again, separated by shocked Pikachu faces. I just wanted to mention it to save you from constant wailing, because on the surface it looks beautiful and interesting. Another anime that looks well animated and interesting, but mediocre, is Marriage Toxin. For some reason, the main characters let go the freakiest and most morally corrupt individuals in existence after a short motivational speech, despite the anime being okay killing random goons. They let these villains slip away in front of their survivors. Like, what? What are you doing? Also, you'd think the main character, the one who mastered poison, would fight in a unique way, right? Nah, he just injects poison to gain superhuman abilities. Released at Rich is an isekai coming from China for those who's craving for some reforming the country fantasy. I really like Chinese storytelling, which assumes you are paying attention and doesn't over-explain things, but honestly this anime has nothing that stands out. Also, it being 8 episodes only and ending right before climax doesn't do it any favors. I'm an unk at this point, so I find high school romance with high school drama really hard to watch, so I dropped them. I can tell the Ramparts of Ice is well written and well directed, but I'm just not the target demographic. It's hard to imagine, but the same is valid for I made friends with the second prettiest girl in my class. Even the main character introduces himself as a total loser with only skill in knife being gaming, but for some reason, he can look people in the eyes, talk with girls, and behaves perfectly normal when holding hands. Lastly, I'll mention Needy Girl Overdose, as I plan to watch it after playing the game its anime is adapted from, but I haven't found the time to do so, so there's that. And now we are back with number 10. Classroom of the Elite is continuing with season 4, bringing more moments where Ayano Koji mocks his opponents with zero expression. Interestingly enough, this season has 16 episodes, which thankfully gives proper pacing. But some people with Ayano Koji profile pictures may be upset as there is more dialogue now. You might look at this anime and think the Japanese are mocking your intellectual capabilities by putting this in front of you. But you gotta believe me, it's actually a good light-hearted adventure anime. Somehow they delivered an absolute banger of a finale with the MC calling all his vending machine powers like Avengers assemble in the final battle. Also, the new side character Field where you grow vegetables, standing up and throwing hands was unexpected and extremely funny. Next on my list is a unique slice of life anime called Kujima Why Sing When You Can Warble. Main character Arata and his family adopt a peculiar bird named Kujima, and we watch their wholesome and funny interactions. I like how grounded and relatable this family is. For example, Arata's brother is in a gap year, shut in his room, studying hard for university entrance exams. So he is very grumpy and this upsets Arata. But Kujima gets upset because Arata's brother doesn't play with him. The most unique thing is not the fact that it somehow doesn't take place in high school, but the fact that they eat a non-Japanese dish in Japan. What is a top seasonal anime list without a trash isekai? But this time, our MC has trouble reincarnating because all the popular isekai roles, like Hero, Demon Note, Demon General, etc. have a long line with a million years of waiting. So not to wait so long, our MC reincarnates as the most stupid shit imagined. Why it's called my ridiculous reincarnation, you ask? Well, it's because his first reincarnation is to become the hero's 11th rib. Every episode, MC reincarnates as something, and somehow he manages to cause unimaginable calamity in the world he reincarnates to. Some moments are so funny they made me genuinely laugh, but the best thing about this anime is how every world has a different animation style. There's puppet play, there's stop motion animation, they use clay, etc, etc. My favorite one is when he reincarnated as the hero's level up sound effect. Finally, the alcohol industry realized they can advertise through anime. And what is better to pair alcohol with but some gay anime girls? How did this anime make into my top 10? Well, its adult romance is actually kinda organically developed and well written. Not only that, but some episodes are absolute vibe. and every episode is directed by someone different just so they can have as much unique artistic moments as possible. I did say that I dislike high school romance with drama, but Kiryu Fan Club gets so ridiculous, funny, and sometimes even cringe that it wrapped around to being enjoyable for me. We have two autistic girls lusting over a dude named Kiryu. They spend their time discussing shit like what they'd prefer to drink between his sweat, saliva, and piss. Very relatable, by the way. And Kiryu is like the most standard looking motherfucker there is. But that is only on the surface, because the anime gets real towards the end with topics like not being able to cope over losing a friend. But even when stuff gets too dark and heavy, this anime never fails to lighten the mood. Akane is a girl with strong ambitions entering the world of professional Rakugo. This anime is really good at showing different aspects of Rakugo, techniques, history, its place in the modern world, and presents this in an engaging fashion. It even got me interested in Rakugo, not gonna lie. You know the memes, you know ReZero. I don't need to sell this to you. We are going strong with season 4. I really appreciate that this season is set in a much restricted location with a limited cast, because last season, with so much happening, they overdid on yapping a bit. And if the light novel readers are to be trusted, this is gonna be the peak of the series. Sorry for overhyping, but Nippon Sangoku is a Three Kingdoms inspired masterpiece. Every character is memorable, every scene is important, every word spoken has a purpose. And to top it all off, Studio Kafka has absolutely delivered with animation and artistic scenes. It is impossible not to get hooked after Fatso Taira does the peace sign. The absolute insanity of Dorohedoro is back with season 2 and it is peak. You know the story is good when it starts with a guy with a lizard head biting off a guy's face. Anything can happen in this world, like turning into a giant meat pie in a random drive-by, only to later get eaten by an unsuspecting hungry dude. It is a wild and just as intriguing with the deep lore where devils are worshipped and will constantly make you question who Kaiman is. It gets very complicated and you will feel like you don't understand anything, yet everything somehow makes perfect sense. I cannot recommend my favorite anime enough, adapted from my favorite manga. So, what do you think of this season? Has anything caught your eye? Or did you already know them? Do you think I missed out on anything you like? Comment down below. Psst, if I did, I didn't like it. Thanks, and take care.